Even a shy American can be happy in Italy, and Orville Rose was about as happy as a childless man can be. From a low point 2 years ago, when in a test tube in New Jersey his sperm had failed to impregnate a hamster egg and medical science had declared him sterile, he felt that his life had gotten a whole lot better. Now, the summer of 1983, he was steadying the oars of a red rowboat as Celestina Polo was pushing away from a dock. With that sweet sense of gliding over ice, they were off. Orville always felt great when setting out, running off, and he sighed happily. He took a first pull against the weight of the water. As her hand pushed against the rough wood of the dock, and she sensed the rowboat ease out onto the lake, Celestina felt a hit of apprehension. Leaving land made her nervous. She settled uneasily onto the plank seat. "Two bad things will happen today." "What?" "This will be a bad day, caro. 2 bad things will happen today." Orville laughed. In her years of Buddhist study in India, Celestina claimed to have seen things that he, a doctor, saw as outrageous. A man who was 132 years old, a yogi who could transmit and read thought, another who could levitate, however briefly, a woman who could predict the future. Lately, Celestina herself had been trying to predict the future. She had ventured several predictions, none of which had happened. "So far, kid," Orville said, "you've been wrong every time." "Of course I am being wrong every time," she answered. "I am learning. I know it is hard for you to believe, dottore, but I am not yet totally enlightened." She smiled. 2 bad things will happen today." "Are you talking about money?" "I mean, if you're talking about money, I agree. We're almost broke. We can't keep staying at these expensive hotels, and do not talk to me about money. Never to talk to me about money. I don't care about money. And if you... But you don't care about money. You don't seem to understand that if you put it on that little plastic card now, you have to actually pay for it later. With interest. With mafia-type interest. You're overdrawn. I'm in debt. Deep in debt. We're almost broke. In our very brokenness," she said mischievously, "is our wealth." "Oh, boy. And in our very wealth is our brokenness." "Terrific. The 2 bad things are not about money, no." She closed her eyes and pointedly took a meditative breath. "Not about American Express." Another. "Not even about the Diners Club." And another. He chuckled. She opened her eyes and smiled at him. The gap between her 2 front teeth was suddenly endearing to him. He shook his head. "You're nuts. Si, caro, nuts enough to love you." "Yeah, well, try it from my side. You are insano, discombobulo." Laughing, Orville grasped the worn handles of the wooden oars. He glanced over his shoulder toward the tiny island of San Giulio, set like a child's sand castle, off-center in Lake Orta, the smallest of the northern Italian lakes. He pulled at the oars. It was past noon. The August sun was hot. The water, still as air, gave off that subtle lake scent that reminds you of wet earth. The day so far had been smooth, suffused with all the glossy luminescence of summer. Soon they were far out from shore. Back across the water, the ancient resort town of Orta San Giulio had diminished to a colorfully painted toy. Above it, amid the grave green cypress, Orville could see the occasional spires of the 20 chapels of the celebrated pilgrimage site on top of the Sacro Monte. He lowered his eyes from the tiny mountain to Celestina's long face, a Modigliani face, framed by silky black hair cut smartly short, to her walnut eyes, to her white gauzy dress molding transparently to her breasts, to her browned toes, that during their love-making that morning had intertwined with such strength with his. She was tall for a woman, he short for a man, and felt a rush of love. She felt it, too, and smiled.